Morning, 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 everybody. Right, so look at this. Look at that. We can see in this chart here, which is upside down, back to front in my screen because I'm in selfie mode. I hope for you that's the right way around. But what I'm trying to show you is the chart from yesterday. Fucking focus on it, you silly cunt. Look at that. It's getting really confused by the whole thing. If I jab on it with the thing, does that help? Yeah, it does. Yeah, so we can see from the chart that it did exactly what I said it would do yesterday. It went up and then it crashed back down again. And this is what I was talking about yesterday with the pump and dump that was happening with the futures market. It's exactly the same fucking thing that happened last time. And so I'm, as well as being super excited and super smug that I got my prediction right, I wanted to share a couple of ideas with you that might be of interest to other people that have been looking at this as well. The first is, like, we talk about these sort of pump and dump schemes. I just want to kind of address for those that might not be aware, like, what is that and who the fuck is doing it? You know, like, what's going on there? So the pump and dump scheme, basically what it is it's a way of manipulating the price like high and then letting it crash out from underneath all the muppets that get in on the back of the excitement of the price going up. And that's what we saw ahead of the futures market the last time round, and this is what we saw this time. And what it means is that for the big fuckers out there that have got shit tons of Bitcoin, like thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, they're known as the whales, right? They're known as the whales, the big whales of the Bitcoin community that have got thousands of coins, like multi-millionaires, billionaire motherfuckers that got all this money, right? With those guys, they can, and it's not just like individuals, like it's big institutions and shit as well, right? So, either of their own volition or because they've been lent on by somebody that wants to make a fuck ton of money on these new futures markets. Oh, sorry, knock that over into my crotch. So, for those of you that don't know, basically they're being lent on by people, or they're doing it because they want to make some money themselves. Either way, I don't know. But what they're doing is that they're if you buy 1,000 bitcoins on something like GDAX or Coinbase, that's pretty much the entire supply. Pretty much the entire supply that you've got there for like an hour or two. And so that gives you a huge scarcity, and it means that the price then goes up because everybody that wants to have a Bitcoin, there's no cunts that are going to sell them. And so they go, well, I've got one, but it's going to be 19 grand now because there's no cunt other that's going to sell you it. So that's what we've been seeing, and the price has gone up. And then so somebody will buy 1,000 Bitcoins and then and push the price up, and then later on in the day, when they figure they've inflated it enough and they've made their money off it, they will then just dump that price back down, and it's very easy to do that because that fucking 1,000 coins that they bought, they'll put like 999 of them back immediately for sale and then drop the price down. So that's what they're doing, and that's where you see these massive price run ups and then immediately crash them straight back down again within a few hours. It's exactly the same thing as we saw last time. So that's what's happening there. It's what you get with small markets. Particularly, they're very vulnerable to this. There aren't that many people holding bitcoins, and the people that are, like, you know, the overwhelming majority of bitcoins are held by a very tiny number of people, and so they are able to really dramatically affect the price in a very short term. And it's, you know, it's more there's a huge effect on that because the market capitalization isn't that big overall. It's, you know, like 300 billion. Not that 300 billion isn't a fuck ton of money. It's just that generally speaking, if you compare that to gold, which is multi-trillions, if you compare that to other asset classes such as stocks or shares, you know, it's like trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions, you know, currencies and things like that. Although Bitcoin is now the 19th biggest currency in the world. I think it'll be number one, but at the moment it's number 14 and it's climbing fucking quickly. So there you go. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about very quickly was swing trading. I did my first swing trade with Bitcoin and fell on my face and lost a little bit of money. So I wanted to talk to you about that. So my strategy up till now has not been to try and, you know, play the swings. The swing trading, by the way, is when you sort of do this stuff, like when it's high, you sell it, and then when it's gone back down low, you buy it back. And so you buy on the lows and you sell on the highs, and you try and make money doing that. So I gave that a nudge yesterday. I sold a little bit up there, and then expected to buy back more than I'd sold when it crashed. But because of the transaction fees and everything like that, it ended up costing me a little bit of money to do that. So it was an experiment, but it didn't work out for me. So my strategy, as I said before, many times, but is the strategy that I'm going to continue with, is to buy and hold that shit and then add to my position every time there's a dip in the market. So basically hold on to everything I've got. I'm not going to bother trying to sell it. And then every time the price comes down a little bit, every time I see one of these things going on, I will buy some more. And that's it. I'm not going to bother trying to sell any, because overall, like, even if I look back at the times, and I've not always, bought at the exact sort of bottom of the swings, not by a long chalk, but historically, everything that I've bought so far has, because obviously it's all gone up, it's all done very nicely. And the only times I've ever regretted anything is selling things, because I remember like a few months ago, like maybe September or something, I did like a bit of an experiment. I hadn't actually sold any Bitcoin before, and I wanted to see the process of how easy it was to do it. So I sold like 50 quid's worth or something on Coinbase just to do the experiment. And on Trezor, it tells you a history of your transactions and what their current market value is. And that 50 quid that I sold, that I got rid of, is now worth 150 quid. And it's like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I wish I'd rather had that, because that 150 quid will be worth 300 quid probably in like a couple of months' time. So yeah, that's something to really be aware of. Is only swing trade if you think that you're going to make money, and if you think there's a massive crash coming, it probably might work for you. I know there are people that are working, have better strategies than that. If you have got a better strategy than me for that, then let me know. And the last thing that I just wanted to kind of like let you guys know is that this thing arrived. Don't know if you can see that. This is no, it's not the Trezor. This is the Ledger Nano S. It's a multi-currency hard wallet. I've been using the Trezor, which is the major competitor to this, but I wanted to get one of these in to try it, and I'm going to experiment between the two and give you guys some sort of compare and contrast feedback type evaluation on what I think about these two devices in the near future. But that's it. We're already like 6 minutes 44 of me bollocking on the interwebs, so I shall talk to you all later.